Welcome to the August 15th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. The first order of business this evening will be case number 860, which is 27 Hingham Road. And actually, I apologize, I need my cheat sheet. Next item of business is case number 760, or no, 860, 27 Hingham Road, requesting a special permit for a deck. At this time, I will ask the board to introduce themselves.
Marianne DeRosiers?
Carl Chapin.
Bill Yeomans, Vice Chair.
Bill McCusker, Chairman.
Alias Hannah.
Kay Reed. Katrina Kosheville, Secretary.
The way we will proceed this evening is the clerk will read the petition, and after the clerk has read the petitioner will have the floor and will have the opportunity to present their case. There'll be a 15-minute time limit for the petitioner. This time limit can be extended with the consent of the board. The petitioner shall present required information and all comments should be specific. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the petition will have an opportunity to do so. Any letters in favor will be read into the record at that time. Anybody in opposition will be allowed to speak, and any letters in opposition will be read into the record. The opposition will also have a 15-minute time limit. After all the evidence is presented, the board will enter into a discussion and hopefully come up with a decision. At any time during this hearing and prior to a decision being made by this board, the petitioner has the option to request that the petition be withdrawn without prejudice or continued until a later date, at which time the petitioner can present additional evidence in support of the petition. Anyone wishing to speak, please approach one of the microphones and give your name and address for the record. The board may ask questions from time to time, however, all conversations should be directed through the chair. This time, I'd ask the clerk to read the petition.
The Grafton Board of Appeals has received a petition from Joel R. Hood. Is that right? For 27 Hingham Road, requesting that the Zoning Board of Appeals grant a special permit to allow the construction of a 15 by 24 foot deck on the back of a pre-existing non-conforming structure. The deck will be 9 foot 5 inches off the side setback that requires a 15-foot setback. The board will conduct a public hearing Thursday, August 15th at 7 p.m. in Conference Room A at the Municipal Center in Grafton to consider this request and or to take whatever action is necessary, including the granting of a finding, special permit, variance, or other necessary relief allowed under the zoning bylaw. Any person wishing to be heard in conjunction with this request should appear at the time and place designated or by letter to this board in time to be read at the hearing. Zoning Board of Appeals, case number 860, Thursday, August, it was put in the Grafton News Thursday, August 1st, 2019, and Thursday, August 8th, 2019.
Okay, so it's been properly posted, legally advertised. At this point, petitioner has the floor. Name and address for the record, and then go.
Joel R. Hood,
Yep.
27 Hingham Road, North
Thank you.
Grafton. We're here to petition to get a deck that's 15 feet by 24 attached to our house, which we've applied for. It's that simple.
No, it's not.
Well, it is for me. I'm ready for any questions you have.
All right, so first of all, what we need to do is establish that it's a legally pre-existing non-conforming structure. So, all right, so per the assessor's card, the house was built in 1957, so that predates our zoning. I believe what makes it non-conforming is the house is 24 feet off the front setback. No, 24.4 feet off the front. That would make it a non-conforming, right? All right, so it'd be a 30-foot setback. It only is 24.4 feet. Looks like it's probably non-conforming on the side as well, 9.2 feet. So that makes it non-conforming also. And who knows, maybe even the lot size is not enough. Frontage is 125. Looks like you have 100 feet of frontage, so you're just hitting things all over the place. So 100 feet of frontage, that helps make it non-conforming. So I think we more than covered the fact that it's a non-conforming structure. Okay, so you're putting a patio or a deck where? Do we have a drawing for where that's going?
Yeah,
Last page.
in your packet,
Okay,
that she
Got it.
told us.
all right. And that's not gonna be any closer. It's still gonna be the 9.2 or less or more.
Correct.
15 by 24 deck. Okay. Right now, it's a house. It's in a residential neighborhood. It's gonna be a house when you're finished. So you're not changing the use, you're not adding any bedrooms, you're not gonna start fixing cars on this new deck or changing the use in any way.
No.
Any questions from the board? Anybody wish to speak in favor of the petition? Does anyone wish to speak against petition? This may be one of the fastest we've ever done.
That's
That's
good.
good for me.
Current home is just so I can fill it out here, how many bedrooms in the house? How many bedrooms, how many baths?
2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths.
And it's gonna stay a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath
Correct.
house. Somebody say something?
Yeah. It is a 3-bedroom. I'm sorry. It's
Do you,
it.
do you want a little bit of time to confirm?
No. It's 2-bedroom now because one of our daughter's not there, so I forget that it's a 3-bedroom home. It's used for something else.
I didn't
need
expect
her to
that
come
question to
back?
trip you
It's a
up.
mind block, right?
Need her to come
That
back.
was not supposed to be the hard question.
What is your daughter's name?
Sarah. I got it right.
She might need to come
Did he
back.
get it right?
Thank you.
That's why I brought her.
All right, so, our findings, I think I basically just went through them. I'm not gonna read through them again unless the board really wants me to. I think we've got them as far as what makes it non-conforming, and then also, it's a residential structure now, it will be a residential structure, nothing is changing in that regard. So, the proposed addition is not more detrimental to the neighborhood. Is this in the water protection supply overlay?
No, it is
district?
not.
No, it's not, okay. So this is not. All right. With that in mind, I entertain a motion to grant a special permit. Let me just see what it says here. 1524 deck will be 9 foot 5 inches off.
So move.
Yeah, basically, it'll be the, pretty much the legal notice. Joel R. Hood, you're the owner.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be to Joel R. Hood, 27 Hingham Road, and legal notice. And Mr. Hood, what I will ask you to do is initial this, drawing. Or do you have one, you'll just get it for him? All right, so the motion made, did somebody second it?
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Mr. Chapin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. So, the board has granted the permit. There's a secretary type of decision. He's to follow the town clerk. 20-day appeal period with the town clerk. Assuming nobody appeals it, you can pick up a certified copy of your decision at that point. And it's very important that you have that decision filed at the Worcester County Registry of Deeds. All right, basically have it tied to your deed, so to speak. It's you want that filed and registered. And you can start construction.
Joel, I just need you to initial both of these. Because this becomes part of the decision. So just right there.
Yeah, so you labeled that Exhibit 1,
Yeah. Exhibit 1 or Exhibit A, what do you want?
or Exhibit A, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, so as soon as I get it typed up, they'll sign it. I'll, let you know that it's been filed. I'll send you a copy of it, and you'll have 20 days to appeal period, and then you'll come in and, take it to the registry of deeds, and then you'll be all set.
Okay.
Okay?
Great. Thank you.
Good
You're
evening.
welcome. Thank you.
Carl?
Yep.
Thank you.
That was easy.
So the next order of business is Elm Rock Estates.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, it's not.
Someone's gotta close this case.
Oh, motion to close case number 860. Thank
So
you.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So
Thank
moved.
you.
Do you,
Yes.
you want me to proceed, or you wanna?
I mean, if it's Elmark, it's something that
You
I
good.
did recuse myself on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
just
so-
wanted to take a couple of minutes of your time and for the last 4 years I have lived in this town and so glad I've lived in the town of Grafton. And for the last 4 years I had really been very involved in towns and town government and a lot of other projects in town. And served 12 years on the planning board and more than 10 years on the economic development and 11 years on the zoning board of appeal. I had gone through many members of these boards and other members of the town. I'll tell you, if I have to choose another town where I would love to really live, it would be the town of Grafton. They've been very good to me, and I served with many boards members. They were so good to us, you know. Today, I felt it's time for me to really move on. And so I wanted to come down and do it in person, not just sending my resignation to the town, to the board, the Board of Selectmen, and thinking that at least I owe a few words to each one of you, you know. And I'm so glad I'm leaving at a time when the board is so good, so well equipped, and with quality and the qualification at the same time, you know. I served with Bill for the last 11 years, you know, and nothing but quality, and every person here. I want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
Katrina is really the great secretary, and I cannot say enough about her. She's a good person who does her job so well. She brought us from a complete unorganized, the last 11 years that I know, you know, to something that we could call the Zoning Board of Appeal board. It's so well, I would say so well organized in so many ways because of her job. Katrina, I want to thank you in person.
Thank you, Elias.
Bill, Carl, and Maria, and Kate. Thank you all for all this. And I have to leave because I am, like I said, I have so many projects, and I'm getting too old for really spending enough time on this one. When I have 5 grandchildren, I have to really spend time, and at the same time, I got to really move on because I do so many traveling all over the world. And it's, I want to say thank you again. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
know.
so
Thank
much.
I've enjoyed
I submit my resignation, but it's going to be in writing tomorrow morning. Okay? I will go down, I'll do the other stuff that you need and come back.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Elias.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
I'd like to know what weeks are open in Arizona.
Oh, God, anytime.
No, I don't want Arizona, I want Spain.
You too, thank you. We'll see you guys
Elias.
anyway. Thanks. I gotta take this one with
All
me
the best.
and all that.
Good luck out.
This
Don't
is
be a
your-
stranger around here.
Yeah, well, we will, I will not be a stranger. I'll be around. again.
Okay, good.
Thank you, thank you. I'll be
Take
back
care.
in about 20 minutes to notarize the other stuff for you.
Thank you. All right, next order of business is Elm Rock. Before we get into it, I want to share a little bit that's been going on in email today and actually before that. There's been a little bit of a problem, and we apparently received a CMP, construction management plan, many months ago. The comprehensive permit says something along the lines of we're supposed to review and approve the comprehensive, the CMP, the construction management plan, within, I think it's 30 days, but some number of days, and it's not as many as we've taken so far. We have to approve it. And we did not do that. And part of the reason, Katrina likes to fall on her sword for this, but I'm not letting her. You know, the reason that this did not happen is because we did not receive anything in writing from Elm Rock saying, here is the CMP, please approve. And this is the exact same thing we had earlier in this project with the construction plans, right? You know, plans were being dumped on us without any, you know, what are we supposed to do with them? Is this the finals? Are we supposed to approve these? And I went back and forth at that time and said the same thing, right? This board does not do anything without somebody asking us to do it. We don't go out on our own and freelance and make it up, right? We need to be asked specifically. Now, here we are tonight, and I think the expectation is that we're going to approve the CMP and we're going to approve the tri-party, but no one's asked us to do that, right? I had the last email I received from the applicant's attorney said words to the effect of that Chad had asked us to approve the tri-party. Well, the fact of the matter is, he hasn't. We have nothing in writing, correct me if I'm wrong,
No, we really do
asking
not.
for that to happen. So, we're here tonight. I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to need you, for the record, to ask us to do these things if you want us to do them, right?
Sure.
But I'm not going to do that again. All right. There's really no reason why you can't draft a 1-paragraph letter in an email, for crying out loud, that says, here's the CMP, please approve it. So we know, and then we don't have this, no harm done to them or because of the CMP, because you guys haven't been ready to roll yet. But, it's only a matter of time before you need something right away, and it's not gonna happen because it wasn't put in writing and it got dropped for whatever reason. Or it could be us that, we need something and it wasn't put in writing, so we don't respond the way we're supposed to, and that can't happen.
Going forward, no sense of going back in time. Moving forward, no problems. Be telephone calls, mail, the whole 9 yards.
It just
There's no sense of going back and.
Yeah, just put it in a paragraph.
Yeah,
I'm not asking for a dissertation. Just
Absolutely.
put something in writing so we know what we're doing
Absolutely.
or what you want us to do.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
So, and then, once that happens, then, it becomes a lot easier to track it. Katrina makes sure I have it, it's just, it's just.
No, I could see where you were in La La Land. So, no, I agree.
Okay, so what would you like us to do tonight? For the record, you
Yes.
actually name and address and all that for the record.
Absolutely. My name's Chad Boardman, represent Wheel Rock LLC out of Fort Charles View in Hopedale, Mass. We're the developer of the Elm Rock Estates. And we're here in front of you tonight to ask for two things. One would be the CMP approval plan that I originally submitted in late spring, as well as a tripartite agreement for the site disturbance. And I do have some, Katrina could probably verify the sections, but CMP approval is, I think, B.1, I through J, and the tripartite would be condition H.2.
So let's just make sure the minutes reflect that he's requested us to approve those two things. And, the good news is, the boards or folks, staff here in this building have reviewed and approved all of those, and we have email or notes from them saying that these things have gone through the process and been approved. We really don't have much to add to them. I mean, if anyone has, we'll start with the CMP. If anyone has any comments, I think it's in everyone's packet today, right? Mm-hmm. And I do believe we saw this earlier, but if anyone has any comments, but I think the folks here in town hall are good to go with it.
Yep, everybody's given me either written or verbal. The only verbal I had was from Steve Cheris in the fire department, and everybody else, I have emails that everything was fine, and they approved it.
And I know there was some back and forth on the whole phasing thing. That's all been worked out.
In the essence of moving forward, I'd say yes, even though I don't agree with some of the things.
Understood. All right. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the construction management plan received May 1st, 2019 for Elm Rock Estates.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Marion, I'll ask you to vote on this as well. Any other discussion, any other comments, thoughts, anyone? Motion made and seconded. Marion, how do you vote? Mr. Rogers? Mr. Chapin?
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. That's approved. All right, the tripartite. Now, I haven't necessarily seen this. I mean, you've got red lines up there right now. Do we have it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's actually the right one.
Yeah,
I don't actually want to see the agreement. That'll make my head hurt.
So this,
Although, does anybody else want to see it? I mean,
No.
so
I mean, let's-
this was the email from Dan that had the red line one,
see it?
and this is the one that you got, that your attorney got,
Yeah,
that you
from
signed.
Dan.
Yes,
Yeah.
so,
I guess what I'm looking for is an email that says that Dan's okay with what,
yeah, hold on, let me get into Dan's email.
and maybe, and I apologize, maybe I was CC'd on it and I missed it.
Yeah, you were.
Okay.
Attached are my recommended changes to the draft tri-party agreement that was proposed by Kathy Netburn on behalf of the new developer. As I discussed with Kathy, the original intent was that the developer would be making a cash deposit, which he then changed and is now doing the tripartite under H2. I provided a surety agreement for that proposed on August 9th. I learned on August 12th that the developer not wanted to secure condition 2 and now providing a tri-party agreement. Attached are the red line version showing my edits to Kathy's form and a clean version that is ready for signatures. So there you go. So the red line one is this one here,
And you printed out the one that we're gonna sign tonight.
I have it here, but he has it that he has notarized with the bank, and he has notarized with his. And it's the exact same one that's here. I read through it today,
Okay,
which is in the envelope, the folder I just
okay.
passed over.
That's the signed one over there.
Yes,
Okay, all right, so,
yes.
motion, is there a date or anything? How do I identify that?
Well, we have to date it.
Yeah. So,
one.
sorry, so I entertain a motion to approve the tri-party agreement for Elm Rock Estates dated today, 15 August 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion or thoughts or comments? How do you vote, Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Chapin?
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Okay, so we've approved it. Elias actually went to get his stamp,
That's okay. I can
so as soon as he gets back,
Yeah, so that's,
we can sign it.
Yeah,
Any-
I won't be here, but I will leave it on my desk.
that's okay, as long as you guys.
I'll leave it on my desk and you can come get it. Bob did say once they approve all this and sign all of that, he will have the two-wheeler road permits
Okay, great.
issued. So I will have Bonnie issue them in the morning and
Beautiful.
call you.
Excellent. Thank you all.
So you guys will be ready to go then?
Clear
So-
communication.
Yeah, the Wheeler Road, the two out on Wheeler Road, he can start because he doesn't have to do anything in the infrastructure.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey, Chair,
Yes.
could I make a motion that we nominate Mary Ann to be a full board
No.
member?
You can't. It's gotta be done by the Board of Selectmen.
Well, I mean, can we all say yeah?
Can we recommend it?
Yeah.
I mean, how does Mary Ann feel about that? Cause, what's that?
I would love that.
Okay. Cause didn't you kinda say no when this came up previously?
No,
Oh,
I never said no. I love being on the
She
board.
comes all the time. She needs to be permanent.
yeah, yeah.
I agree.
So, somebody who was an alternate,
Yeah,
Didn't wanna
before
be-
me.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
you?
think it
She was
Maybe it
before
was
me.
Megan?
no, you're right. Mary Ann has been here longer than you have.
No.
Oh, no, she wasn't.
No, I think,
no, okay.
Carl's.
I think it was
No, no,
Megan.
There was another girl.
Megan.
I think it was
Megan.
Megan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
She
Megan.
bowed out, yeah.
Megan
Yeah.
Peralta.
She wasn't
she
sure she
preferred
could
not.
stay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, it was
she's-
Megan.
she's
So I knew somebody had
She-
said, no, I'll stay.
Right.
I
That's,
know, but
All right,
she's-
that was Megan.
that happened
And
a
then
couple years ago.
the,
Yeah, no, she's
Brian
moving.
will be
She's-
the
I've been
first
dealing with her.
alternate.
her
And then
ex-husband.
we have to seek, another.
Yeah, so, the way it works, is, first of all, I think that's a great idea, and I think that if
Well,
the
I
board,
know-
if the
I
board
know-
all
I
agrees,
know it goes through the selectmen,
Yeah.
but, I just wanted to put it out
If-
there.
Came in crying Friday.
if
Who's
the,
listing her house?
if the board all agrees, then, maybe if you could just draft a letter to the Board of Selectmen that the Board of Appeals,
Yeah.
strongly encourages the Board of Selectmen to appoint Mary Ann to fill the vacancy created by Elias, and you probably gotta wait until Elias actually sends in his resignation
Yeah.
designs.
before we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea. Though I believe what they'll do is they will still advertise for this position. And you gotta have to send in a note saying so, and Brian could send it in, and somebody from out of town, I'm not out of town, somebody out of the board could send, and then it's up to the Board of Selectmen to make a decision. And they actually did that, by the way, there was, when I got appointed, Joe Nolan was an alternate, and they appointed me to the full member slot over Joe Nolan. And Joe applied for it.
Oh, wow.
So I have to fill out an application again?
I don't know if it's an application.
No, I don't
No, I
I'll
don't,
find-
no, I didn't have to. I think they just,
I'll find
Send
out,
like
let you
an
know. I
email
think
or
they just
whatever.
appoint you.
Okay.
and then they'll ask
Well,
you.
Mary Ann definitely has to say, I want
want
it.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to say you want it.
Yeah.
You should.
In like
you
an
should-
email.
You can email them.
The Board of Selectmen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
you seek,
Yeah.
you seek to be appointed to fill the vacancy created by,
Yeah.
Elias.
So I'll, if you want to do that and email it to me,
I'll do that.
and then when I get Elias's resignation, then I can send a letter to them with your letter.
Perfect.
We can do that.
Thank you.
I'd much prefer, I know at least once, and I think it's happened frequently, where they'll advertise for this position, fill it with that position, and then turn around and advertise for that. It's like, can we just skip that nonsense?
Yeah, just
Let's
make the
appoint
alternate.
the
right.
alternate to the full member and then advertise once
Yeah,
for.
right,
I'll double check with that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because actually, so if you take Elias's, you now take over what his term was.
absolutely, that's true.
Right.
Yes.
You understand that?
Which
Yeah.
is low. I think it was
I'd have to look
lesser
and
than
see.
mine, maybe. I think it's equal, actually. It
I think
doesn't
she has
matter,
the
yeah.
same- Whatever.
Oh,
But
you
yes,
both, that'd be ideal if you both at the same time.
Yeah, so
But-
that's,
But you do
that's how
take
it works.
over
You
that.
take over
Yep.
his, and then whoever would come in on yours would take over your turn.
Whatever, yeah, when you
That
started.
doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
but that's the way it works.
that makes sense, though. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that.
I know.
Hi, Brian.
Ryan, welcome.
Brian.
Oh, Brian.
So,
Clearly.
Oh, he didn't know.
oh, you
He
thought it was 7:30.
7:30.
We're almost done. But one thing you did miss, just so you don't read about it in the papers, Elias resigned.
Okay.
And he sat in on the special permit case we had, and then he resigned. He's doing a lot. He's set up a foundation for a charitable foundation. He's just doing way too much outside of this board, and just doesn't have time that this board, he should have for this. So he's resigning. He's actually on his way back because we approved the tri-party agreement for Elm Rock, and those signatures, I guess, need to be notarized. So he's actually going to get his stamp, and he's going to do that for us. And we just talked about filling his spot, and the board would like to see Mary Ann get appointed to that. So I think that sums up what he's missed.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And along with this same, transaction, Brian, you're going to be active. I'm going in to have my knee replaced on September 23rd. So I'll be recuperating from that, I hope, very quickly. But, so we still have, a full board, working at that time. And, typically it's 6 to 8 weeks or something.
All those bending and
The
blowing
worn
up
out,
those
the worn out,
plants.
the worn out knee,
All that landscape.
Yeah.
the blown out kneecap with no cartilage. The doctor said, no, he said, you're easy. He said,
New knee.
No discussion necessary here. He said, that's,
New knee.
And it's a lot of fun going through the metal detecting at the
Yeah,
airport,
yeah.
because I always set it off.
so that's, we're again fully staffed, which is always beneficial. And so the alternates, the next alternate becomes, if I'm gonna be out for a few months and Brian's filling in, then, so having another alternate appointed, would be very important. And I'm sure
Hopefully we
that,
can fill
as evidenced by Brian and Mary Ann, and, I mean, everybody that's stepped up over the past few years, I think there are some good people out there that, can fill in.
Yep.
I think I'll save my ZBA trivia till it's off the air. I have some very, very big ZBA trivia, but I'll cover it. And it's dealing with Woodstock and,
Next order, oh my God, next order of business, minutes from Thursday, May 2nd. I think they're all in our packets.
Yep, just grab mine.
God, this was a long time ago. Was I at this meeting?
Probably.
God, this is awful.
It's from May.
I have no recollection of this case.
yeah, you were here.
Yeah, I know, it says, I see that.
Yeah.
I just have no recollection.
I agree. I have no record.
Where
I
is,
kept waking.
where is 54 Providence Road? Where is this house?
54 Providence Road is,
It's the one that's set way back.
Oh, now I remember.
Yeah.
You can't even see it from the
No,
road.
no,
Right, yeah.
no
Yeah.
frontage,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right, now I
that's one
remember.
with the garage.
yeah.
Now I remember. Okay, got it.
Well, don't feel
Wait a
bad. I
minute.
had to check to see, was I here that day?
It's been a while.
it has been a while.
3.5 months. It's a long time. Lots happened in 3.5 months.
And then 121 Providence Road was withdrawn without present.
Yes.
That's a variance request. Oh, so that was done by letter. So then, oh, this is the one that kept getting continued?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And that was 121 Providence Road?
Wait, hold on.
That's not the right address. is
Isn't
it?
isn't it north?
North.
It's North
North,
Street.
North
North
Street.
Street.
Yeah.
No, it's not North Street either.
Yeah, it is North Street.
North Street?
Yeah. Yep.
Good get there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is North Street, yeah, okay.
Yay, Katrina's got her own computer, yay. Yay.
Because I can now do this, type it, update them, and have you sign.
Okay.
All right, that's,
We ever gotten a date for that touch base with the selectmen yet?
No, because Sargon Hannah is no longer the chairman, so we don't know if it's gonna be done.
Right, yeah.
That's
Cindy,
right.
Well, Cindy was gonna check with Bruce Spinney, but now he just resigned.
He did?
yes.
Sweeney
Yes.
resigned too?
To build a marijuana.
I guess I need to read the paper.
in Grafton.
So,
All right, so, motion to accept the meeting minutes of May 2nd,
So moved.
2019 as amended.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So that's that.
So Kate,
this
can you
can go,
just
this
sign
can
the second
go.
page and then I'll reprint the first page?
I will.
Thank you.
Do that.
Thanks.
The only other thing we have is executive session. I'd like Elias to come, and we don't actually need to sign those in open meeting. So we probably ought to go into executive session, and Elias is still a member of the board, so we actually could be part of the executive session.
But he wasn't active in that.
Doesn't matter for executive session.
Oh, okay.
This is Prentice Place. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. He's a member of the board. So,
Oh, no, he was active.
So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session, and we will adjourn the meeting from within executive session, or we will return to open session only for the sole purpose of adjournment. In other
So
words,
moved.
we're done.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I think I should do this on a roll call, if I remember correctly. So Mary Ann,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Yeomans, Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We're done.